Let's Up the Score, a podcast for real sports fans. This is your host Chris. Um, we're gonna talk about three things today. We're gonna go straight right into it. This is gonna be a little shorter today, so be sure to like and subscribe and listen to the long version of it on Spotify. We're gonna talk about this Giannis trade for the Hawks and the Knicks, and I'm gonna speak about that, and we're gonna talk about the world versus the U.S. All Star uh game for this year's All Star game, next year's All Star game. Should I say? Uh, Let me get right into it. Giannis had a trade idea for Giannis going to New York Giannis going to New York with the Hawks, and for these two deals, my deal is for the Hawks. I would say uh, the deal was I trade Jalen Johnson, Trey Man, and Dyson Daniels and the 22 pick to go to Milwaukee to get Giannis and AJ Green. Uh, I think that deal will work in my mind, in my eyes, because Milwaukee get a first round pick back, and they don't have no first round draft picks. Plus, they get a younger player they kind of been around with. But the thing about Jalen has to stay healthy in order to make the deal worth it. And plus, Trey Man could be a good asset for the bench, and Dyson Daniels will be a good defensive player right alongside when Dane come back, so they get some more defense on their side. Um, other than that, for Trey Young and Giannis will be a good fit to me because they play Trey's playmaking ability, and plus on that he won't be a defensive liability on that end of the floor. So, to my opinion, is Giannis is not a Giannis is not a Giannis is not a bad defense player. He will get you he'll get you at least a block or two a game and maybe a steal in in a game too. So he's basically an all around player. Like I said, when they get around Trey, they got two big guys. Well, not necessarily two big guys, but I think Oka Watch Oka Watch. I can't try to remember who he is from the center for Atlanta. I'm pretty sure they might get a big guy in the second round too for the Hawks. So they gonna need all the bigs in the world to help out Trey, so he won't be so much of a turnstile going in the paint area. Uh, to me, in my opinion, and I will that and then on top of that, they will be in my opinion is how big the they they keep Karis LeVert, they keep Ricochet is turning up too. So um to me they do this deal. They go from the play in to basically like a top three, top four seed because the Eastern Conference is the competitiveness is from top four teams is balanced. After between 5 and 8, it's not it's not as competitive, but they can shoot it right at board real quick. Um, like I said, they can shoot it real quick. It's just I think they're gonna lose. I think they're gonna lose Capella, and they gonna need some bigs. And plus, offensively, they can space the floor out a little bit more too. Because when Giannis gonna be in the paint area, so he don't shoot a lot of threes. He's just going down here like LeBron. That's he just gonna use he's just gonna be a train, just going down here, get his bucket. But every now and then he might shoot a 15 for the maybe one or two threes. But other than that, one of those days, but one of them nights. But other than that, but like I said, they're gonna shoot him up for at least a top 3 team in the East. Uh, NBA championship is not guaranteed. So, but like I said, though, it'll be a good deal for them. It'll bring a lot of hope for Atlanta Hawks fans. Like, oh yes, we gonna we gonna we finally turn things around, getting the right player to get there. So that's my opinion on that. The next deal I can say about it's a New York deal, him going to New York. Uh, my deal with that was, if I'm not mistaken, off the top, uh, you got Anthony Towns and Tyler Kolek going there to Milwaukee for just Yarns by itself. Uh, Depending on who the coach there, it depends who the coach there. That determines what kind of, if they gonna do the deal or not. To me personally, but he goes to New York, they get New York over the top. They get Giannis because Giannis is just, he's just gonna be, like I said, for Atlanta, he's just gonna go downhill and get his 30 30, well, at least 25, 30 points every night. He's gonna get you at least 9 10 rebounds every night. So, like I said, defensively, it will still work because he will still get it on defense. He ain't gonna slack off at all on defense at all. So there should be no questions about that. Karl-Anthony Towns to the Bucks. Uh, it's gonna be like Minnesota all over again if he goes to Milwaukee. But I can see a scenario that Josh Hart might go in that deal too, but I don't see it because I think James Bronson was talking about not doing that. Or Mikal Bridges, he want them two to stay, but I just think that Karl-Anthony Towns is an odd man out. So that's just my opinion on that. And I think like I said, it takes New York over the hump. The Bucks is, I think the Bucks are, it's gonna be the middle. It's gonna be the middle road team in West Conference or the East Conference, because it's gonna be like Minnesota all over again. But only difference is you got Doc is a better coach than he had, because like his first couple of years, Doc's a better coach than he had his first couple of years in Minnesota. So they gonna be managed to be more right at the 500 range when Dane get back. It's kind of interesting how that's gonna work for him and Dane. To me, they keep Dane and they don't trade Dane for Karl-Anthony Towns. I can see that kind of work. I think that might work because Karl-Anthony Towns is not a dog like Dame is. But the thing is about Dame came off that Achilles injury. Is He might not be the same. But for me, if I had to pick one or two deals that sound good to me, you know what? I forgot to do the Houston deal. See how the Houston deal look like. But like I said, I'll put that one up later on. But I think I'll do a Houston deal. I put it up on the video too, but I ain't gonna talk about it as much. So I'll just put it like this: if he go to Houston, I'm giving up. I'm giving up Jalen. Think Jabari. It's either between Jabari or Reed Shepherd. Uh, I think the Shangoon's coming around that deal. I think 3 players going that deal. Plus, Thompson is off the board. I think they can live off of. I think. Well, I forgot about Cam Whitmore. Cam Whitmore could be probably part of that deal too. But I think those 4 maybe a draft pick. Going back to Milwaukee and Giannis and maybe AJ Green. I won't be surprised Kyle Kuzma might. No, I don't think Kyle Kuzma might go back. I think he might stay. No. I think Kyle Kuzma might go in that deal because I think Bobby Portis is going to stay at that. If that happens, Bobby Portis, I think they ain't going to give on Bobby Portis. Not that easily, but I think they're going to give. I think they're going to give up Giannis and Kyle Kuzma and go over there. Depending how the money is, or they're just going to be Giannis by itself. I'll do the deal on this YouTube, and I'm gonna put it up. I'm gonna see what it looked like, but I'm pretty sure it might. It either Kyle Kuzma going with him, or just be a Giannis straight up by itself. But it's gonna be some picks in there too. And I think it's more. It's gonna be more on the. It's gonna be more on the Milwaukee side. But those are my ideas for the Giannis trade. So the next thing I'm gonna talk about, my opinion about the U.S. and the World All Star Game. I like the idea, love the idea. It's better than them watching what they had what they did this year, splitting the 3 teams up. This is third, but Alan Simmons said he been watching the AHL and watch their idea and stuff like that. I don't know what's the particulars of that, but I can tell you this much: the world gonna give us, uh, a run for our money. It doesn't help that like Shea, Luka, Shangoon, Joker. I mean, they starting 5 might be a little nasty. I can tell you that much. And I don't know what kind of role players they're gonna have, but I can tell you like they gonna because they gonna play hard, and they not they it, if you imagine the All-Star game, it's gonna look like the last good All-Star game to me personally was not what they had at the Elam ending. It was good, but when I think was the one in DC. DC probably the last competitive All-Star game I've seen. I don't think that the one when Michael Jordan was in Atlanta for the last time and he made that fadeaway jump. To me, I don't think it's quite as good as the one in DC. But Al Iverson and Stephon Marbury on the same team. Jason Kidd, Vince Carter in the Eastern Conference. You got Shaq, Kobe, Garnett. I might forget a few people. Chris Rivers on that All Western Conference team. That All Star game was good. Yeah, with the World versus USA, it's gonna be very interesting, because they're gonna play more team ball, and we're gonna play 1-on-1. They're gonna be worried about fun. They're gonna get everything on fundamentals. Now, the Giannis on their side too, because I tell you what, the real basketball junkies, give me your top 10 players today in NBA. I can almost name you about 3 or 4 in the top 5 right now. Top 10 wise, you might have maybe 5 or 6. I'm not. If I'm not mistaken, in my top 10, it might be. In my top 10, it's gonna probably fell right in it. It's gonna be fall right in that ballpark because your top American player is pretty much top five wise American player. I can say, and let's see, and Edwards gonna be the top NBA player, top American born player. Then you could say maybe Jason Tatum, and you can go from there pretty much. Not see, does it's like I said, the the guys, the European guys, are holding it down right now. Victor gonna get an MVP within 2 years, depending what kind of roster changes they gonna do in San Antonio. They might be they probably the best team that didn't make the playoffs last year. After their injury, I'm pretty sure they was gonna be in the play-in, and that's just my opinion. Now they're gonna be a lot better because if they get Dylan Harper, they bring back Chris Paul. They gonna be a hell of a damn team because they got a 7'4" guy. They got a rookie of the year. They play both ends on the court, and you probably got one of the fastest players in the NBA, De'Aaron Fox. So they play a lot of team ball. So that's I can tell you right now. If I did NBA preview right now, they gonna be one team. They gonna jump from the hell of hot water once they get to the damn playoff. Once the season start, because San Antonio is gonna be pretty much gonna be a at least top 4 seed next year. They ain't gonna be in the play-in next year. If they do, to me, in my opinion, if they did trade for Dylan Harper for Jaylen Brown, they still gonna be a top 4 team. As much as this sound crazy enough, Dallas gonna be at least a top 5 team. Once they get, I think they're gonna play 500 ball once they get Cooper Flag and they get the rolling. Only issue Dallas got is a ball handler. They just need another ball handler, and they gonna be good. But I can say this: when Kyrie Irving comes back, they gonna for me they play at 5. I think they gonna play at least above 500 or a little bit close to 500 once Kyrie get back. Once Kyrie get back, they gonna play above 500 throughout the All-Star break. And I won't be surprised they won't be a top 4 seed. I don't think they gonna be in the play-in tournament. That's how much things change in the Western Conference, just like this in Brooklyn. And Giannis coming to, it's just off the. I'm off a little tangent here, but that's what I think. But the world might put a foot on you his ass. So I like it, but once 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 it gets real, you're gonna see some faces gonna be like, I don't think this was a good idea. And that's why I think it's a good idea, but it's gonna leave a negative connotations for the Megan eyes because we don't want to dominate basketball. At the end of the day, we supposed to be dominated. But like I said, the world going once the world put a nice foot in our ass, everything I think things gonna start change for the American born players. They ain't saying like the social media things and stuff like that. That they ain't gonna have to change, but they gonna be more concentrated on the craft. The European kids over there, they concentrate on fundamentals only. You might get one or two that jump out the gym, but that's kind of rare. But most of the time, they play on ground. They don't most of them guys don't have no 40-inch vertically, Andrew Wiggins was one of the him and Trey, him and not Trey, him and Sharp from Portland, the only people in Canada I know of right now have over a 40-inch vertical leap. So that's why I said they concentrate on fundamentals. They worry about how to get buckets, how to create buckets. Don't take good shots or bad shots. But one more thing, once I leave the OKC Pacers series, they starts tonight. I got OKC winning game one. I think it's gonna be. I think it might be at least a 10, 15 point lead, at least a 15, 10, 10, at least 10 to 15 for the final. That I think KC be about 10, 15. And I think Shea might get. I can see Shea get between 25, 6 and 6 tonight. They gonna stop. They gonna stop Tyrese Halliburton tonight. They gonna throw everything. They gonna throw everything at him. Corner woodshed at him. So they're gonna do everything they can to slow him down because he's the head of the snake. So Siakam got to play. I think Siakam got to play like he played the last game in New York. The order to win, the order to keep the series close or win some games of this series. So OKC go 0-1, and I think OKC will win the series. I think they'll go. I think it's gonna be for a basketball head like me. I would say they go in 6. Okay, it's 6. OKC on 6. It's 6. Um, Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. Go to Spotify. Go to YouTube. Subscribe. Like it. Uh, like I said, a sports podcast for the real fans. Hope you enjoy it. Enjoy your night. I'll come back with another video with KD trade idea trades too. So I'm gonna do like I said, I'm gonna do a little shorter version of this time around. And I'm gonna try to figure out how to do a longer version without video, should I say. Other than that, enjoy y'all weekend. Peace.